guys, it's Ruthie, or Mystery Guest 1948, and welcome to my 18-month post-op SADI-S or LoopDS video. Yay! Just to go ahead and start out with my stats, I am 37 years old. I am 5 foot 7 inches tall. I'm a solo mom, and I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. On December 11th of 2017, I had the LoopDS or SADI-S bariatric procedure with Dr. Curtis Peary at Sanford Health right here in Sioux Falls. And I am forever grateful for it. So, let's see. So I have switched to doing these more monthly, although I know I haven't been super on point with that, but I'm going to try and keep on with the monthly updates. And last time when I came at you, I had told you how the scale hadn't moved for a couple months, and that is still the case. Oh, my weight stats. Right, sorry. I had notes written out, and then I don't know where I put them, so I'm just winging it here. My high weight was 375 pounds back in July of 2016. On December 11th, when I had surgery, I was 319.4 pounds is what I weighed in on that morning. Last time I came to you, I was 189.8, and this morning when I weighed in, I was 189.0. So I've been bouncing back and forth between about 187.6 and 195. And like yeah, it's very frustrating because there won't be any rhyme or reason for it to just bounce up to 195, like out of nowhere. And it's not my scale, it's my body. Like all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, actually, let's just hold on to like 8 pounds of water just for fun. And that's literally what it does, like water and poop, basically. Is what happens. My body just like decides to hold on to everything and like not let go. And then eventually I'll see it'll go back down. Like 189 is kind of where it likes to sit for whatever reason, but it's very frustrating. So that's where I've been for about 2 months. That's an overall loss of like 186 pounds, I think. Since surgery of, I don't want to math, 130.4, I think. And then, yeah. So, and since last time of 0.8, which whatever. I did claim my 187.6 because I stayed there for a couple of days before it decided to jump back up to 195. Oh my gosh, so annoying. Like for real. But mostly it's really annoying, not just because like I've been working my butt off trying to lose weight, but because 187.5, like 0.1 pound less, would be exactly half my body weight, or half my weight, or whatever, since I started, since 375. And so it's frustrating to not get there, you know, after a couple of months. But there's not a lot more I can do. I have been trying, so thank you guys for all of your suggestions on what I possibly could do to jumpstart and kind of get myself really focused more and on track, which I had mentioned in my last video. Just some really good ideas. And I've been trying a couple of things. So I decided to take the month of June to sort of try a couple different like kickstart type diets to see if I could shock my body into losing again, I guess. So I will tell you what I've done so far. So it's just the second week of June, so it's not like I've done a ton of stuff so far. So what I chose to do is that Monday through Friday I'll stick to like a certain specific whatever diet, and just do it for 5 days, and then still give myself weekends off because it's how I stay sane, and it makes it easier to stay on track throughout the week if I still allow myself those couple days of like leeway on any particular diet. But anyway, so what I did the first week is I did this thing I saw on some people do on Instagram called the 5-day pouch test. And yeah, that diet is complete and utter bullshit. Like, no. So you're supposed to do like clear liquids and then full liquids and then pureed or soft foods and so on and so forth. Kind of like you did the progression of your diet from surgery. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. Maybe that'd do something for me. We'll see. But the problem is, now that I am so far out from surgery, those type of foods, those more easily digestible foods, I can eat in large quantities. Like, it's not hard for me to consume over a cup of cottage cheese with fruit in it, and I can eat all of it in one sitting without a problem, and then be hungry not very long afterward. So it was just, I was hungry all week long, and it wasn't before my cycle, so it's not like that's why I was hungry. I was hungry because my body was processing that food really quickly and felt empty again quickly. So that was kind of a bust. I mean, I stuck to it, but I didn't lose anything. In fact, I don't know if it was because of how much liquid and how much sodium is in some of the type of food that I actually went up in my weight. So I was like 187.6 the Thursday before I started, and then that following Thursday I was 195. So yeah, not cool. Like, my body decided to go up 8 pounds during this diet. This is just ridiculous. So I don't recommend that diet. For me personally, didn't really do anything. And then this week I'm doing kind of the egg fast, I guess. It's not exactly the egg fast, but it's close. And so I'm just basically doing like an uber keto thing, which I've never really done for real keto, where it's like high fat, moderate protein, moderate or low carb. I've done a keto-ish style where it's low carb, but have always focused more on protein than making sure to get, more fat, I guess. And so far, so good. It's much better than last week. I feel much more satiated, or whatever, full, I guess. Is that the right word? Satiated? Whatever. And yeah, so it's going better. And it's fun to try some of these like bizarre like egg fast recipes. I did this Alfredo thing yesterday with my sister, and she was like, I'll try it. That's weird. So it was so rich and so dense. Like, I couldn't hardly eat much of it, which is fine. But one thing is that my calories are so high. Like, I think yesterday was like 1,700 and today is 1,800 calories on like a regular day. Damn. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Already I'm back down to 189, so I don't know. So far so good. And if it goes well, I might do one more week of this, and then I don't know. We'll see what I do the last week. I think the last week I'm just going to be getting back to what I've always done before is kind of my plan. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know next month how that panned out. I'd really love to be 175 by the 4th of July. I mean, I'd love to be 175 by the end of August, but like, really would love to by the 4th of July, because on the 4th of July, I have registered to run a 10K, which is as part of my training for the half marathon, and that's the longest like public race I've ever done, and so I'm excited for it. But if you're lighter, you can run faster. So I mean, I know I'm going to be towards the probably the last 10K runner, but I'd like to maybe keep up a little bit for at least a few minutes. I don't know. I'd like to see if I can increase my time, and I don't really know how else to do that other than getting smaller and getting lighter, because right now I'm still at that like about 11.5 to 12-minute pace. It's just what my body likes to do, at least on shorter runs. On longer runs, it's like 14 minutes. That's what it was this last week when I ran my long run. I did an 8-mile run, which, you know, when I sit back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I ran for 8 miles. I ran for 8 miles. What the heck? That was not even, like, running for 1 mile a year ago was just not going to happen. So it's pretty exciting. And July is always, or not always, but it seems to be kind of a time for new beginnings for me. And so I don't know why that is. I guess just summer makes me happy and makes me feel all motivated to change things. And so, like, yeah, July is just a good month for change for me. But yeah, so there's that. Training for the half marathon is going well. It's very grueling. Those long runs are intense, and I definitely need some recovery afterwards. But, you know, I enjoy it. I feel right after the long run, like I get this uber runner's high, which is crazy. So I feel like amazing and exhausted all at the same time. But then I'm like out of commission for at least 2 days because, ow. Also, I've started going to a chiropractor again, and this time more regularly, just because of the amount of beating I'm doing to my body, and also because my body has changed so much over the course of the last couple of years, just with all this weight loss and so sudden that my like muscles are pulling on each other, and I just have been having a lot of like pain, especially like in my hips and in my back. So that's good. Trying to get myself realigned. I actually have a problem where the very top vertebrae in my neck are, you know, usually it's curved to like this, you know, this, and mine is curved to like this. I have an opposite curve, so it causes a lot of pain, especially my upper back when I'm especially if I run or you know, do any kind of exercise. Like all that strain on my back really causes some uncomfortableness, and it'd be nice to not have that. And I've got a couple degenerative disc disease stages going on in my neck, so that's not good. But here's hoping I can reverse that a little bit anyway, or at least get on top of it so I don't have problems down the road, and so I can still someday run a full marathon. We'll see. What else? Oh, so a lot of you guys like, what's this boyfriend situation that you're talking about? How does that work? So I met Matthew back in January, and we have been seeing each other ever since. He's a wonderful man, very kind, very giving, extremely supportive, thinks I'm a rock star, which, you know, I am. But for real, he's just a very nice, kind man, and I enjoy him quite a lot. And yeah, he's very supportive of everything I've been doing and thinks it's amazing that I've accomplished what I have. And he's like, I think you look amazing now. You don't need to lose anymore, but if you want to lose, you know, go for it. I'm not going to stand in your way. So that's really nice. We're still kind of taking things pretty slow, I feel like, because both of us are solo parents, meaning that we're not just single parents, like the other parent is not very, if at all, involved. So we're both very busy. And his kids are older than mine, so still working on the getting to know everybody thing. And, you know, every situation is different, but I'm just taking it very slow, especially emotionally. Just like, I really like him, but, you know, we'll see. For real, though. He's so cute and so sweet. Someone was asking me about, like, how I feel about, like, loose skin and being close to my boyfriend. And honestly, it's not even an issue. Like, I get so in the moment that, like, yeah, I don't care. Honestly. If I'm truthful. But other times, my loose skin definitely bothers me. I mean, like, in those situations, yeah, it doesn't. I'm very confident in a certain... I'm just pretty confident most of the time, But there's just those moments when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, damn it, I have worked so hard to get this size and I still look like, well, I look like an obese person, but smaller. You know what I mean? Like my body shape still looks like an obese person. And so I find when I'm comparing myself to someone who's the same size as me, like they're a size 6 and a size medium, small to medium, size 6, 8, I should say. You know, I'm like, that is not what I look like. That is not at all what I look like. And it's disheartening a little bit. And also it makes it hard to find clothes that like I still need to hide certain things, but everything that like is made for hiding those things is made in plus sizes. And so I don't know. I shouldn't say everything. There's plenty. I mean, I'm really grateful I can go into any store and buy a pair of jeans without a problem. But they better be high-waist jeans with some stretch to them. Just saying. But then somebody who was never obese and is just, you know, maybe gained weight up to 190 pounds, yeah, their body is much more well put together than mine. I did have my, gosh, there's so much I want to talk to you guys about. I'm sorry, this is going to be a really long video. I'm just going to ramble on a little bit. So I did have my 18-month appointment with my surgeon's office, and they're really proud of me. They're like, you know, think I'm doing great. They're like, we're not even going to bother doing your blood work. It was great last time, and if you promise to continue taking your vitamins, we won't test you again till about a year out, since you've been doing so well. They love that I'm, you know, exercising, and they think it's great that I track everything still. And even asked me like if I'd be willing to sometime like share my story with the bariatric people, like on stage or something. And I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, trust me, that's an honor to be asked, because it means that you're doing really good. I'm like, okay, thanks. I'm like, sure, I'm always willing to share my story. So that was really cool. What else? Oh, so when my dad passed away, if you followed me for a while, you know that my dad passed away this last August. And he was a very avid runner, which is part of the reason why I found it so, I shouldn't say easy, but it's been easier for me to stick with running because it was something important to him. And I'd always wanted us to share that, and I never got the chance. And so his first 5K back in 2001 or 2002, I think it's 2001, was this, back then it was called Run with the Wind in Marshall, Minnesota. It's a 5K. And it was also his last 5K back last year in 2018. It had changed names a few times and been supporting different causes, but it was still the first weekend in June every year he would run it. And he has like t-shirts from every year. But so last year after he passed, I was like, okay, well, I want to match his final race time at 27 minutes and 2 seconds. And so that 5K happened on the first weekend in June, and I did not match his time. But I'm actually okay with that. I ran the whole thing, and it wasn't that hard. I ran with 11-minute, 30-second miles, and even had my son's older half-sister run it with me. She'd never run a 5K in her entire life. She'd never run more than a mile, and she ran it like at the same speed I did. She was amazing. I'm so proud of her. Good job, Avery! And I still ran it in memory of him. And I know that I may never get to be as fast as he was. He was amazing and worked really hard to get to where he got in running. And I may never get that fast, but I still run in memory of him, and I still run as a way to incorporate something that was important to him into my life. Something that I think he would be proud of me for doing. I mean, I know that regardless, because I'm his kid, he would be proud of me. Like, he's my dad, and he was awesome, and he loved us kids, all 5 of us, and would do anything for us. And, you know, I miss him. And yeah, I mean, this weekend's Father's Day. It's going to be tough for me. It is. It's going to be tough. I'll be thinking a lot of him, and I'm sure there'll be some tears. But I know he's still there, helping me through my long runs. And I think of him all the time when I'm running, like imagining him cheering me on and telling me I can do it, just to push through, you know, and that he ran a half marathon and you know, trained for that, and he'd be like my biggest cheerleader, and I'm sure he is. I just wish he was still here to actually see me do it, of course. But anyway, off that sad topic. But yeah, so that happened. Didn't make it. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll match that time. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so I'll let you guys know how this next month goes. I'll come back at you and right around the 11th of July for my 19-month. Let you know how things have gone, and if my startup shake up my body a little bit to see if it'll lose anything, see if that pays off in the end. But yeah, I think that is all I've got for today and this month. Hope you guys are all doing well. I still am watching your videos. I just am if I don't comment, it's not because I don't want to. It's just in a crazy busy mode at that point. But I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you next time. All right.